Hello and welcome to the Jets offseason. And today, the Jets, they started offseason early. Everybody else is still playing football. So the MVP of the league is Aaron Rodgers, 104 QB rating, 5,120 yards passing, and 36 TDs. Jay Gruden in the second year, he wins Coach of the Year, got the Redskins to a 14-2 record. Now, the defensive player for the NFC is Bobby Wagner, 171 tackles, 2 sacks, and 4 INTs. Crosby, he wins offensive Rookie of the Year for the NFC with 3,718 yards passing, 21 TDs. Now, David Barber, he was Defensive Rookie of the Year in the NFC, 95 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and 1 recovered fumble. And my man Adrian Peterson led the league in rushing with 1,700 yards and 12 TDs on the ground. Julio Jones, he did his thing with 121 grabs, 1,484 yards, and of course 12 TDs through the air. Ryan Davis, he wins Defensive Lineman of the Year with 10 tackles for loss and 9 sacks. Defense of back. The best defensive back in the NFC goes to Richard Sherman, a.k.a. The Mouth. He got 10 INTs, 14 pass breakups, and 1 pick six. Tom Brady, he did his thing in the AFC. He's quarterback of the year over there. He did his thing with over 4,000 yards passing, 35 TDs. Houston, 15 sacks, 2 INTs, and 3 forced fumbles. Roy Bars, he wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. He was flat out beasting and feasting out there. He had a total of 874 yards receiving and 5 TDs. Sampson, Rookie of the Year in the AFC on the defensive side of the ball. He had 74 tackles and 5 INTs. Monte Ball led the AFC in rushing with 1,420 yards and 11 TDs. Elderman, he had 1,100 yards receiving and 11 TDs as well. J.J. Watt, Defensive Lineman of the Year. His stats were crazy. 87 tackles at the defensive line spot, and of course 8 sacks. And Raheem Moore, 85 tackles, 9 INTs, and 10 pass breakups, plus a forced fumble. So going into our situation, like I said, our season is over. So Rex Ryan, you're done, son. Now I thought that there would be a button to push to say you're fired, but we just won't renew his contract, and that's going to make him basically a free agent. So he gets to sign with whatever team wants him. I don't know what team would really want this dude. He is god awful. Now I know the Buffalo Bills, they signed him in real life, but my goodness, he is a defensive genius, you could say. But when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, he is plumb dumb. In the wild card round of the playoffs, you got the Buffalo Bills over Baltimore. You got Seattle falling to Green Bay, Denver over Tennessee Titans, and the Detroit Lions over the Carolina Panthers. So there will be no repeat champion. Remember, Tennessee, they won the Super Bowl last year. Moving on, time for our coach search. So there's a lot of coaches available, and then I saw Jim. Now, I know we're not Michigan, Jim, but come to us, baby. Come to the Jets, Jim Harbaugh, please. So I didn't give him the best contract, but I would offer him around $7.5 million over 3 years. Now, he got a lot more money than that signing with Michigan, but I figure if I'm just going up against Atlanta and Jacksonville, we have a better situation than both them teams, right? So moving on to the divisional round of the playoffs, you got the Buffalo Bills over the Kansas City Chiefs. You got Detroit over Washington, Denver over New England, and Green Bay over Arizona. So your AFC Championship game matchup, you got Buffalo taking on Denver, and in the NFC, you have Detroit taking on Green Bay for some NFC Central action. I said Central, I know it's the North, but I grew up in the 90s, baby. Anyways, man, for the championship game, like I said, we got Buffalo falling to Denver, and Detroit got spanked to Green Bay in the playoffs. What else is new, right? I'm just saying. I'm sorry, Detroit fans, I had to go there. For the Pro Bowl, check out some of the Pro Bowl. We got a couple of Pro Bowls. We would have had a lot more, but we had some injuries. DeMarco Murray, he would have made it, but he's still suffering from that broken leg. He done messed up his leg. I'm hoping that he can come back healthy. Now, as we go through the Pro Bowl list, I have to remind you guys that we have 15 draft picks in this upcoming draft. 15. That's right. Not 1, not 2, but 15. Now, I don't know how many draft picks we're actually going to use in this draft. I love to stock up for next year's draft and stuff like that. That's how I was able to get 15. But hopefully, we get, maybe another first-round pick in this year's draft or next year's draft. I don't really know, but that's what I'm hoping for. Now, of course, the defensive side of the ball, we're there. We got Antoine Barnes. He made it. We also got Harris, our defensive lineman. He made it for the second year in a row. Quentin Coples, he also made it. So we are all over the place on defense when it comes to the Pro Bowl. Our problem is definitely on offense. We got to re-up on our offensive line. That's a given. Our offensive line, the second half of the season, play like hot garbage. But before we move on with that, we get some bad news. Jim Harbaugh has rejected our offer. Now, I kind of figured that Jim Harbaugh, he would probably go to a different team. I didn't really think that we would pull him, but going to the Jaguars, that hurts, Jim. Ryan Mack, that was something else I was looking at. So we got Lewis, we have Trestman, we have Rex Ryan. I don't want none of those guys. I want somebody that's going to fit our scheme. Harbaugh, he's focused on running the offense. Mack focused on running the offense. 3-4 defense from both of those guys. I'm not trying to change up our scheme, so we went with the West Coast passing scheme on offense with Dennis Brenner. He's going to be the new coach of the New York Jets. We get to keep our 3-4 scheme, which works for us, and maybe a short passing scheme will work better for our man Alex Cheney. Now, in the Super Bowl, the Green Bay Packers are victorious, and that means they tie my favorite team, the San Francisco 49ers, and those Dallas Cowboys, with 5 Super Bowls. Good job by Aaron Rodgers, MVP of the whole league. Got himself another ring, 33-26 over the Broncos. Now, there's some needs that we got to keep. Yes, some needs that we don't have to fill, that we just have to keep. And one of them, Brandon Spikes. He has so many hit sticks, we got to keep him. Antonio Cromartie, at times, he was a shutdown corner in our defense, so we got to keep him as well. There's also somebody else that I wanted to re-sign, and that was Quentin Coples. Charles Woodson, I'm going to skip over you. Hakeem Nicks, I'm going to skip over you as well. You guys are getting older. You guys really aren't progressing. So I thank you for last year, but that was last year. Let's move forward, man. So Quentin Coples, we try to re-sign him. However, he would reject our offer. Accepted from my man Brandon Spikes. He accepts the contract. Antonio Cromartie, he accepts the contract. Rejected, as you see it, Quentin Coples. He's gone. Antoine Barnes, excuse me. We re-signed him. Wilson, he rejects it. Williams, he rejects it. And Allen rejects it. Also, Danny Amendola rejected my 3-year offer for him. So he's not coming back either. So in the draft, we will have to address our secondary. We have holes in the free safety and strong safety spots. We need to get some more corners. On the roster right now, we only have 3 corners. Just 3. We also have to get some more receivers. Now, Eric Decker is on the trading block. If I can find somebody that wants Eric Decker, he is gone. Okay, we're trying to get younger. We're trying to get more explosive. The chances of Alex Cheney turning into Joe Montana after 1 year is unlikely. So I need these guys to catch the football, get up the field. Catch the football, make some big time plays. Now, as you guys are seeing, Willis McGahee, he retires. James Harrison, he retires, and Kevin Williams, he's gone as well. But again, we have 15 draft picks, and of course, we still have the free agency period. Okay, we haven't even hit that yet. Now, in free agency last year, we went after a lot of people. We went after Charles Woodson. We went after Danny Amendola. We went after Brandon Spikes. We went after a lot of people at the quarterback position like Brian Hoyer. And we also went after Chad Henne. So that's not the focus this year. Our focus is to build through the draft. But we do have some holes that we can maybe fill with the veteran on a 1 or 2 year contract. Now, we did lose Quentin Coples, and our pass rush was vicious this year. So we are looking to replace him via the draft and via free agency. And I want somebody who is better than he is. So if you're looking at the storylines, you see that the Texans, they are cleaning house. Arian Foster, you're gone. DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know where that came from, but DeAndre Hopkins, he's gone as well. John Kuhn, he's gone. He's releasing James Casey, the longest plays for the Patriots. So we're checking out some of the big names in free agency. Wes Welker, he's a free agent. RG3, after a 14-2 record, you're going to let this man go? That is insane. And of course, he wants big money. You see, he almost wants $100 million. Deshaun Jackson, he wants to get paid as well. Julian Edelman, maybe we re-sign, or maybe we sign him to replace Danny Amendola. I don't know, but what I told you is what I told you, and what I told you is what I mean and how I feel. I do not want to be spending a whole lot of money in free agency. So Ryan Matthews, he's another one. Of course, Arian Foster, he's a free agent. Ben Tate, he's a free agent. And Chris Ivory is also a free agent. We did not re-sign him. I'm going to be rocking with DeMarco Murray. I'm also going to be rocking with LaMichael Dawson. And if we find somebody in the draft, that's cool. And if you find a veteran in free agency, that's cool as well. Now, I know what you're waiting for. You're waiting for who are we going to pick up? Come on, man. We lost Quentin Coples. We lost Danny Amendola. We ain't got no free safeties. What we doing, Dawkins? Calm down, man. Melvin Ingram, he is free. There's 3 teams that want him besides us, and that was the Chiefs, the Steelers, and the Cardinals. Now, he doesn't fit the Cardinals scheme. I know that for a fact. Now, the Chiefs, he'll fit perfectly in that scheme. Pittsburgh, he'll fit perfectly in those schemes. And those teams are a lot better than us. So let's try to just up the ante, put our money where our mouth is, and sign this young man. You know what I'm saying? He was a beast coming out of South Carolina. He had some injury issues. He had some injury issues. But when he is healthy, he can be that flat-out monster. And hey, his overall is a lot higher than Quentin Coples is. So hopefully we can upgrade that position, get this dude to sign. Our first offer is $15.9 million with a $5 million signing bonus. We are slipping when it comes to free safeties. We don't have a single free safety on the roster. So why not try and get Reggie Nelson for a 1-year deal? He can play that free safety for us. He's a big hitter at times as well. So why not try and get him? So Nelson, he accepts the offer. Melvin Ingram, we're still working on him. So as you can see, he's worried about the scheme, but the scheme fit, that works. He's worried about the contract length, but that works for him. The problem is the money. He feels like we're coming up a little bit short. So let me boost up the bonus by $2 million, going from 5 to 7. Let me give you some more money for the salary, making it $18.2 million in a $7 million signing bonus. We also kind of thin that right tackle. I told you guys that our offensive line needs some work. So our right tackle, why not go after Michael Lord? He used to be the blind side. Now he's the front side. But for Alex Cheney, who is left-handed, he will be the blind side for Alex Cheney, playing that right tackle spot. And of course, Melvin Ingram, he's still worried about the cash. So I'm going to max him out with the bonus money. I can go no higher than $9 million. So $9 mil, I believe I gave him 9.5. 9.5 mil, that's the best that I can do, Melvin Ingram. That's the best I can do. I'm gonna give you some more money here. I believe I went 19.8, $19.9 million over the next 4 years. That's a good price, my dude. That's a good price. So he ends up accepting the deal. So we get Melvin Ingram, we get Reggie Nelson in free agency, and we also get Michael Orr, a.k.a. the blind side. So some more storylines. You see that Stevie Johnson, he's going back to Buffalo. Dwayne Allen, formerly of the Colts, now plays for the Raiders. Alfred Morris is now an Arizona Cardinal. Now, I don't know if you guys saw it in the Pro Bowl, but Geno Smith made it to the Pro Bowl. He's now a 93 overall quarterback. I probably should have kept him, but to keep the storylines intact, he had a horrible year last year for us. He threw a lot of interceptions. A lot of those were my fault, but again, in his situation, throwing that many picks, I thought it would be more realistic to let him go than to keep him. At the time that I let him go, we actually got him up to an 82 overall, and you see what Bruce Arians and the Arizona Cardinals did for him, making him a 92 or 93 overall quarterback, flat out beasting and feasting out there in Arizona. So you see that Dwight Freeney, he's a Buffalo Bill. Arian Foster, he signs with the San Diego Chargers, and RG3 is back in Washington. Unbelievable. I can't believe they even let him leave the doors for a little bit. He had an incredible year. Flat out beasting and feasting this year. John Kuhn is now a Buccaneer. Justin Smith signed with the Cheeseheads. And of course, Reggie Wayne, he left Indianapolis and now he plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. And last but not least, D'Angelo Hall is now a Chicago Bear. But that's going to wrap up part 1. Part 2 will be dropping a little bit later. Hope you guys enjoyed the video as always. I enjoyed bringing it to you. The draft is next. And I hope that the rest of your day is the best of your day. And I'm going to see y'all later. Peace. Hot sauce.